Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nick here. This is a reaction to the James Bond No Time to Die trailer that dropped earlier today. At time of recording, I actually saw it about just after 1:30, actually, first time, and also about just after 2 o'clock for the second time, and I've recently rewatched it for a third time. Time is now just gone 6:45 p.m. All of it are p.m. Okay, No Time to Die's trailer. Honestly, I think this could be Bond's best film trailer. I mean, all of them have had great trailers in whatever way they were like. I mean, the Connery and Lazenby film trailers are typical style 60s, 70s film trailers. Roger Moore ones sort of as well, but kind of put a bit more style with the gun barrels in places throughout the trailer. Then Dalton's one started to be a bit more of the typical just film trailers of the 80s onwards. And then Brosnan's a bit more of a style, typical 90s trailer, and then 90s and 2000s, and then Craig's are very typical 2000, 2010 ones, but all of them put a lot of effort into their trailers, or at least certainly all the ones from the Living Daylights, at least. Certainly I would say quite a few of them off before. Well, no, ignore that last little bit. Yeah, basically all of them, but especially the ones from Living Daylights onwards. So yes, this one looks like it could be one of the best. Craig's ones are probably some of the strongest ones anyway, despite being typical action movie trailers. But you know, the ones that get you excited. And I think Skyfall and Spectre had some of the best in the series. But I think No Time to Die beats all of them, possibly. Starters, it's hinted at secrets that Madeline is hiding from Bond, Madeline Swan from Spectre, and either she's betraying him or she's hiding something that is almost getting them killed. And they may even, apparently they're married, but maybe they'll separate for a little bit because of this conflict and go into hiding maybe separately. And then Bond, with request from Felix Leiter and also new 007, not new James Bond, new 007, I think Nomi, played by Lashana Lynch, they're going to get Bond back into action to fight this new villain played by Rami Malek. And Bond is brought back to MI6 and meets with M, Q, and Moneypenny. And also Tanner, he does pop up in the trailer. I didn't think he did after watching it the first time. I didn't think he was there, but after watching it this time around, he is there. And he and Madeline speak with Bond and Madeline speak with Blofeld. For the first time since Thunderball, we've got the same actor returning to play Blofeld. Because we've had a Blofeld, whether it's just a body and a voice like in From Russia Love, Thunderball, and For Your Eyes Only, or if it's a main actor like in Year of Twice, On Majesty's Secret Service, and Diamonds Are Forever, it's always been and Never Say Never Again, and Spectre. It's always been one actor per film, apart from the guy who did From Russia, guys, I should say, the body and the voice actor, those two guys who did the Blofeld from Russia of Love came back for Thunderball, and now we've got Christoph Waltz is back as Blofeld from coming back from Spectre. Similarly, Felix Leiter, they always change the actor every film he appears in. They always change him, apart from Quantum of Solace, where Jeffrey Wright. Apart from Quantum of Solace, where Jeffrey Wright came back for 2 consecutive films. Also, David Henson did return, but there was another guy in between for Living Daylights. In fact, there was a very big gap between films with Felix in between Live and Let Die with Henderson and Living Daylights with John Terry, and then next film is License to Kill with Henderson returning. But Jeffrey Wright's played the character twice consecutively in 2 consecutive films, and he's going to play him a third time in 3 consecutive Felix Leiter appearance films. He didn't appear in Skyfall or Spectre, but this will be Felix's third appearance from but from Casino Royale, this will be Felix's third appearance, and it's the third time with Jeffrey Wright. So he's been the actor who's appeared in the most number of Bond films as Felix. And I suppose Christoph Waltz, or at least joint with the guys from Russia Love and Thunderball, are the most notable, most recurring Blofeld actors. Anyway, so most of the first trailer is focusing on the Bond-Madeline relationship and also setting up Nomi, the new 007, who replaces Bond after he retires. She's not going to take the James Bond name. She's not going to do that. That's the codename theory that's been floating around for years, saying that there's all of these guys are called James Bond, 007. It's a code name for different people, hence why they change the actors all the time from Connery to Brosnan. But that's been debunked quite a lot. It's mainly due to references in the films themselves, especially in For Your Eyes Only. It's a bit harder when you get to Brosnan's films, but certainly in the Moore and Dalton films, there are no, and also with Majesty's Secret Service with Lazenby, it's very obvious. And then Craig is a completely different one to them because it's a new timeline. We'll see about what happens after this film, whether they'll reboot it like Casino Royale, or if it'll be a soft reboot like GoldenEye or Living Daylights, etc. But yes, but so basically, Lashana Lynch is not James Bond. She's just 007, basically. Like in some of the older films where a 00 agent would die, they'll get a replacement in. Like we got a 002 in Living Daylights after the previous 002 died off screen before the events of The Man with the Golden Gun, for example. So yeah, that's basically it, and that's addressing an issue that's been around for a couple of months now. But yeah, and pretty sure I argued this point already anyway. Maybe not here, but maybe just argued it in full stop. Anyway, second half of the trailer goes into more about Staffin, Rami Malek's character. Rami Malek I think he was cast right not long after Bohemian Rhapsody, or at least he was floating around that he was being considered for the role, or he was going to be cast. And yeah, he was fantastic as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought that was an underrated. I know lots of people liked it, but I think it could have gotten even more praise for what it was. It was an outstanding film. Me and my family went to a screening of it in a big park in our town, Saunders Fields in Bishop Stortford. They had a screening of it it was on my mum's birthday, in the night, and watched on the big screen, and it was brilliant. Cold night, but fantastic film. Yeah, so Rami Malek was amazing in that. So glad he's here, and he's the villain, and I think he's going to be great. I'm not sure what the accent he's putting on. I'm terrible with accents, but I think he does a great job, nevertheless. And I think he's got some sort of scarring around him, hence why he's got the mask in part of it. And it seems Calvin Dyson theorized this, that he could be the guy who tries to kill Madeline's father, Mr. White, as what she talks about in Spectre, in the scene with the train, when she's talking to Bond about it, why she doesn't like guns and all that. It could be that. We could even, my friend Ollie theorizes that the Norwegian scenes could be flashback scenes to when Madeline was young, and that is a rumor that there are scenes set in Norway with a young Madeline as a child, and someone's either come to rescue her and or kill her. So this could be very interesting to see how it all goes down. And obviously this is going to tie in with what's happening later, and also Staffin is up to something, and it's now involving MI6 as their themselves more weaponized. He also knows quite a lot about Bond and considers himself a mirror reflection of Bond in a way, and of course is up for playing God. And as Bond says, history shows that playing God is not a good idea. More or less, and some really great action shots. I'm also interested about Ana de Armas's character. I'm actually wondering if she could be a villainess character in a way. We'll see how it goes. She could be an ally. She could be a villainess. We'll see. If she is a villainess, she'll be the first proper villainess since possibly Rosamund Pike's Miranda Frost in Die Another Day. Although we did have a female henchwoman in Casino Royale, and some Spectre agents in Spectre. One of them is coming back, apparently. The one delivering that talk about modern slavery. I think it's that lady. She's coming back. I'm hoping she's Irma Bunt. Because Bunt's a character who's appeared in more than one book. She's in the You Only Live Twice book, and posing as Blofeld's wife there, following the events of Majesty's Secret Service, the book. So hopefully Irma Bunt is coming back. I mean, she's Spectre after all. But yeah. So it's looking extremely interesting. And that final shot, Bond shooting down the tunnel, that's sort of reminiscent to the gun barrel. Looking forward to this movie extremely lot. I mean, this is this would be my most anticipated movie of 2019 had it been coming out in the original November-October 2019 release date it planned, but got pushed back to 2020, so it became my most anticipated movie of 2020, and it still is. Well, Bond will automatically be my most anticipated movie of a year, any Bond film, unless a Doctor Who movie ever got made. But aside from that, a Bond movie would be my most anticipated movie of a particular year, 2020, 2015, hopefully 2022, if they can get one out for the 60th anniversary of the films. Or maybe 2023 if they can get one out for the 70th anniversary of the books. But yeah, it looks really great. Some really great shots. And really like how all three female characters in the trailer, well, 4 actually if you count Moneypenny, are kicking bottom, so to speak. Okay, Moneypenny doesn't really kick bottom, but we've already seen her do that in Skyfall. And who's to say she won't do it in the film? Didn't really do an awful lot of that in Spectre, but still an extremely necessary and useful asset. It sounded like it. That sounded like she was a tool. Dear God, I don't want to sound like that. She was important to Spectre's plot. There, that'll do. More or less. So yeah, I'm really happy that we're showing 3 extremely brilliant women, I suppose. Phoebe Waller-Bridge's writing influence is probably going to be very... let's just say showy. It will show through. Plus, probably Moneypenny's humour, maybe. I mean, Moneypenny's got a very good line in there about Bond and Lashana Lynch's character getting on pretty well. That's quite funny. Also quite funny is Q's line about Bond not being dead. I find that enjoyable. And hopefully Rory Kinnear's Tanner is going to have a bit more to do as well. He's got quite a bit to do in Skyfall and Spectre, but I think he needs a little bit more to do as well if he's going to be a usual regular like MQ and Moneypenny. Especially now as this quartet is now just as active in the series as Bond is. See Skyfall and Spectre, especially Spectre. Maybe not so much with Moneypenny later on, or Tanner later on, but certainly they're all very active throughout Skyfall and Spectre. So on the whole, this is an amazing trailer. Looks absolutely brilliant, really great acting, and I feel like I'm critiquing it. Fantastically shot and edited, and it's getting me all hyped for the film and really excited. And it looks visually stunning. I think Cary Fukunaga, or Cary Joji Fukunaga, as he's going to be credited, is going to do a fantastic job. I'm still a bit disappointed Sam Mendes isn't coming back to wrap up the story, considering it's a story more or less started with Casino Royale, but pretty much started with Spectre for a direct continuation. Don't know if this is going to be a Quantum vibe where it's a direct sequel, or if it's just continuing the story, a la Spectre did from Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and to a lesser extent Skyfall. Skyfall's the only installment of the Craig films, or at least before Spectre came out, that was pretty much its own standalone film, and I'm hoping we go back to that once we get the new actor in. Go back to normal, but more updated. Again, same with the Brosnan films, again, but more updated, just standalone adventures with our new actor. So, yeah, but in the meantime, we've got No Time to Die, which is sure to be an extremely amazing Craig film. And you know what? The other actors didn't really get the best final Bond films out. I mean, You Live Twice, that is one of my favourites, but Sean Connery did a pretty poor performance. I know he had a lot of problems at the time. I know he was pissed off at everyone, but he definitely doesn't hide it. He's definitely not hiding it. He's definitely showing it on screen, and he's not really doing the Bond performance we knew and loved from the last 4 films, the previous 4 films. Lazenby decided to quit after 1 film. Connery had to be brought back for Diamonds. He did a better performance there, but the film is definitely one of his weakest. Roger Moore, View to Kill, I consider that probably one of his weakest. Timothy Dalton, License to Kill, to me, is probably the... if you take out You Live Twice and also A Majesty's Secret Service, because it was Lazenby's one and only film, if you just have Diamonds Are Forever, A View to a Kill, License to Kill, and Die Another Day, License to Kill is automatically the best of the 4. And is, again, taking out You Live Twice and Majesty's Secret Service, it's automatically the best of the final Bond films. And to be honest, I think that's an underrated and great film, and quite underrated. I know it gets quite a bit of slack for its tone and its direction, and I can understand that because of where it's taking the series. But personally, I thought it was a great film. And Die Another Day is considered the worst film of the entire series by the fans, generally, although general audience would consider Roger Moore's fourth film, Moonraker, the worst. Personally, I think Die Another Day is not terrible, but it's certainly one of my least favourite films in the series. But I wouldn't go as far to say it's one of the worst of all time. Actually, it's in my bottom four, possibly bottom five, depending on how No Time to Die goes. But I put Moonraker lower, but neither of those two are my least favourites of the series. I think Quantum of Solace is the worst of the series, and that's generally considered after Moonraker and Die Another Day, Quantum of Solace is usually the third one that's around that area, and then it's pick and choose the others. Same for the best films. Goldfinger, From Russia with Love, Casino Royale 2006, they're usually considered the best ones, maybe Skyfall as well, and then it's pick and choose some of the other best ones like Doctor No, GoldenEye, Spy Who Loved Me, Majesty, Secret Service, etc. It's pretty much pick and choose. Thunderball's kind of a bit... recently, more people have been coming out and saying it's not that great, but it's still got quite popular in other people, so that's kind of a middle ground at the moment. Same for True Eyes Only, which some people love, some people don't. And maybe Spectre as well. And maybe You Live Twice. And then, Live Not Die, that's a popular one. And then the rest is pick and choose. So hopefully No Time to Die will be the best of the... my point is hoping No Time to Die will be the best of the final Bond actors films, or at least of the actual final ones, when taking out You Know Twice, because that wasn't really Connery's last film, and Majesty's Secret Service, because Lazenby only did the one, so the rest, basically, hopefully it'll be the best of the rest. Automatically, at the moment, it's currently Licensed to Kill by, that's it, default, not automatic, default. It is easily his weakest of the two films, but by default, it's the best of the four final Bond films, taking out You Only Live Twice and Majesty's Secret Service. But hopefully No Time to Die will be the best of those five. Don't know if it'll be Majesty's, because that one currently, spoiler alert for an overall film ranking coming in April, May, on the Retro channel, that Majesty's is probably top 5 material by now. Maybe No Time to Die will be as well. We'll see how that goes. But certainly, out of the rest, it will probably beat all the other ones, besides maybe Majesty's, we'll see. Also, as a Craig film, my prediction is it's going to be third best Craig film predictions, but it could be better than Casino Royale. My current favourite film, which I'm going to rewatch tomorrow for a Retro Channel review, will be Skyfall. But will it be as good as Skyfall? Possibly. But yeah, this trailer is definitely looking like it's going to be an extremely amazing film, and looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a James Bond film anyway, but it looks absolutely amazing. Oh, and where do I put Never Say Never Again on the final films list? Well, I put that lower than Die Another Day, so even though there's the same score, but I consider Die Another Day better. Controversial, but that's my opinion. So yeah, Never Say Never Again technically is Connery's outright final film, but it's not an official installment, and if I was counting it, it would be last. And same for the other two Casino Royales for Barry Nelson and David Niven. And the 67th one would be below Never Say Never Again, and 54 would be below that. But Quantum of Solace is below that if I was doing the entire film ranking. So 54 ones is not the worst of all time. Came very close though. Anyway, but No Time to Die I'm predicting to be one of the best, or maybe if not top 5, at least top 10 possibly, or at least in top 12/13. I've got a top 12, top 13, that's half and half, so it's going to be a bit awkward. It's always awkward when you got odd numbers ones, but when you get even numbers, it's a bit easier to split them in half or quarters in cases. With 12 and, with 24, you can split them into 6, 6, 6, 6, or 12 and 12. It's going to be a bit more difficult when you get to 25. Or 26 even. But anyway, What do you think of the trailer for No Time to Die? Are you excited to see it? Are you as anticipated for this film? What did you think of the previous film, Spectre? That one's a quite divided film, as I mentioned. It's one of the ones that gets divided. What are your thoughts on the other final films for Bond actors, including You Only Live Twice and Never Say Never Again, and Majesty's Secret Service? It technically counts, but mainly Diamonds Are Forever, View to a Kill, License to Kill, Die Another Day, and when it comes out, No Time to Die. Those are the main ones, plus Majesty's, and then also throwing You Only Live Twice and Never Say Never Again if you want to be technical. But what do you think of all of those films? What do you think of the other films in the series? Any of them? Well, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. You don't have to go into too much detail. Maybe just a small summary. We'll be here all day. But yeah, I know a lot of people will say Die Another Day is the worst film ever. I'm expecting that. Or Moonraker is the worst film ever. Some people might argue. Or Quantum of Solace is the is the worst film ever. I might hear those arguments. I don't know. I would probably join those arguments. But yeah, anyway, put your thoughts about the trailer below. Are you excited for No Time to Die? And what do you think of the other films I've been talking about, especially the final Bond films, as mentioned, and the other Craig films as well? That's it from me. About time, you would probably be thinking. Sorry about all the hiccups and bloopers and stuff, as I'm recording this to go on YouTube pretty much straight away. No editing for this video. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, and don't forget to check out my review of Skyfall later on in the week on the Retro channel. Thank you, and goodbye.